Okay, I just assembled another I/O panel for somebody, and I thought I'd make a video of it, just so you can see what it is and how to hook it up, and I'm gonna yak about it for a while. All right, so this is a way to clean up all the electrical stuff going in and out of your D-Lev kit. It's not part of the kit, it's separate from the kit. You have to contact me, and then we kind of discuss it a little bit, and we build the thing that you want, and the color that you want, and the geometry that you want, the arrangement. It's all very malleable, but these are the two that I've built so far. I built several of these, the 1x6s that go into the tour, my tour cabinet build, and I built one of these for somebody else, and it's a 2x3, and so what do we have here on the front? We have a MIDI DIN here. It's a MIDI transmit. It comes out of here, and it's just the standard MIDI cable, 5-pin DIN kind of thing that plugs in there. Next is a USB-B female connector. I think we're all familiar with those two. It's like like what you'd plug into a printer. And that gives you serial communication with the librarian, gives you power, ground, if the USB is grounded. Often it's not. All right, here we have a center off rocker switch. So when we click it this way, we get power from the USB. We click it this way, we get power from this aviation connector. In the middle, it's off. The aviation connector here, this is also supplied with the I/O panel. You have 5 volts input, 2 grounds. On the bottom here you have inputs for autocal and muting foot pedals, foot switches. The wire that comes with it, that plugs in, does not do anything with those foot switches, but it does give you a barrel connector, female barrel connector for power, and an explicit clip for grounding, just like was on your kit before. Right. And then here we have 2 TRS outputs. This is a headphone output, and this is a line level output. They're both stereo. So you can plug your headphones in there, like you normally do. Just normal 1/4-inch headphone jack thing. And over here for line level, you plug the same kind of thing in, but on the other end you would have mono outputs. So this is a little weird. This is called an insert cable, and this one's made by Hosea, I think. And they're kind of known for cheap but not too horrible cables. Economic. So you got stereo on one end, you got 2 monos on the other. So you plug this into the line level output. You plug this in your mixer or stereo amplifier or whatever on the other end. So something like that. That's if you want to do things in stereo. On the back here of the USB connector is a bare dongle board. It's like the dongle, like your blue dongle here. There's a little chip inside there, but this one's bare. And I usually ship it not connected like this, and you'll have to plug it in like that. The chip on it is different than the chip in your blue dongle. It's a CP2102. It's a Chinese serial chip, USB serial chip. And if you own a Mac, you may have to install a driver to be able to communicate with it. So far, the Windows machines and Linux machines I've encountered already have the driver installed. So that's that. Let's see how we hook it up to the kit and the DAC box. So here's your kit. That's the way the kit comes. Here's your grounding cable, but it's also a power cable. And we're going to undo that by pinching it and pulling it. You can see that there's a little kind of lock there on that. You got to pinch it to take it off. and then we're going to just yank the dongle connector off. It just comes right out. And the Toslink, you can either leave that in or take it out. It doesn't, well, you can leave it in, it doesn't matter if you leave it in. You can take it out if you're going to use this bit of connector to your DAC box. Right, so we're going to take this IDC ribbon cable. It has on the bottom here, it has a little bump out. And the bump out fits in this notch here. So there's no way to plug that in wrong. You just stick it in there and you shove it. So, and the red's on this side, that's pin 1. You see that there's these other wires here taped to the ribbon cable. They're kind of superfluous. You can just completely ignore them. Unless you want a secondary DAC box, and then you might have another RCA connector on there, a line one. That you can otherwise just completely ignore that. All right, on here too we have coming from the I/O panel, we have another pinchy connector, and we just stick that on here. There's only one way it goes in, with the red on the top here, and it goes in and it locks and clicks. So that's that. Right. So how do we hook up the DAC box? We have these connectors over here that are all twist tied together. Right. You've got a barrel connector for power. You've got an 1/8 inch TRS for stereo audio, and then you have these two RCAs for stereo audio. So obviously the power goes in the power, the headphone goes in the headphone, the line levels go into the line levels, and we have two remaining choices here. We can either do like we were doing with the kit and plug our Toslink in here, or, and don't do both, we can take this RCA that's on this ribbon cable here and plug that into the digital audio input. So it's up to you, you can do one or the other. If you do this, you've got this free, and you could actually use this for recording if you wanted to. But you know, you don't have a pretty thing coming out on the front panel. We do have connectors for these, so they're if you're interested in taking this out, we can talk about it and bringing it out to the front panel. So that's that. You saw all this. There's also a volume here on this browser DAC box. If you push it all the way this way, it's all the way up. I would do that just because it controls both headphone and line level output. So you'll need to you want the line level as high as possible, generally, especially in performance situations. And you know, you can control the volume digitally from the front panel. So let's power it up, and I'm going to power it first via the USB. So I'm going to use this Amazon, this charger came with my Amazon tablet, and I trust it, I guess, more than other chargers. There's the market is just awash in crap chargers, crap AC adapters. They're just junk. They're shock hazards. They can over voltage. They can under voltage. So they're just dangerous. So I would pick something that you trust, that comes from a known good manufacturer. So here we're going to plug the USB cable in. We're going to click it, the rocker to the left, and we see that we have power. And the other thing on the ribbon cable here is this LED. And if we mute the D-Lev, you can see the LED comes on. If we unmute it, it turns off. If we do an ACAL, the auto mute comes on. So this is a positive indication muting, very positive. It doesn't blink when you're storing, it doesn't blink when you're auto calibrating, it doesn't do anything like that. It's either on or off, and it's either muted or not. So you could mount this on your front panel somewhere. I think it's really handy, really useful. If you don't like it, you can just leave it inside your box and have it just glowing all the time when it's muted. You can take the LED out of the thing so it doesn't glow. It's just all up to you. But it's very insulated. It doesn't matter if it just floats around inside. If you're not using the SPDIF electrical RCA on the ribbon cable here, I would tape this up so that it doesn't short out anything accidentally on the inside. And then you would of course be using the Toslink instead. But be careful with that because it's got a ground on the outside and it could really hurt stuff. Right? So you don't want that. You don't want that grounding things. Okay, so let's turn that off and do that. And let's power it via a wall wart. So you can see here that they show you the polarity. The outer barrel is negative and the inner pin is positive. This is really, really important. You have to have this. And it's also a 5-volt DC. That's really, really important. Don't go higher voltage or lower voltage. And amperage, it only needs, the D-Lev needs half of an amp. So if it can do half an amp, you're fine. If it can do 2 amps, fine. Higher amps don't hurt anything. Okay. So we'll plug in the aviation connector. And we'll plug this unknown wall wart into, it might be fine, I don't know, but I don't, you know, like I said. We'll plug that into the barrel connector and we'll plug this into the wall. And then we click the rocker switch to the right and there we have power. And we have muting and all that stuff. So that's kind of that. Oh, the Proser, you can actually take the screw out, and what I did with the tourkit was I took the screw out and you can then take this whole plate off, and I drilled a hole in the plate and then screwed this plate to the inside, and then I put this back, and so that one screw kind of holds the Proser down inside. So that's something that you can do. I guess that's about it. Oh, I wanted to say I wanted to show you the arrangement of the 2x6. This right here would be your rocker switch. These two right here are your 2 TRSs, right there. This down here would be your USB. This is your aviation connector right here. And this is your MIDI DIN right there. So that's how that one's laid out. You know, we can discuss other layouts. It's all very parametric, and it's just no big deal to do whatever you want. So, all right. Well, thanks for looking and watching and stuff. Bye.